Welcome back, guys. It's Billiard Banter. Talk about a bloodbath. We're going to give you a $1,000 K match. Gorst against SVB. A bloodbath, blowout. I don't know. You guys are going to tell us. We got a preview for the Predator Tour. We got the King and the Queen of the Alps. Then we're going to talk about the Boston Shootout. Gloss over what's happening in Ultimate Pool. And then we got a great question. What's the state of pool? Do you know where to stream? Do you know where to watch? What the hell is going on? We got a lot for you guys today. We're talking about Matchroom and everything else, so stick around, watch this pod, give us some love, and it's Billiard Banter again. Let's go!
All right, Joe, we have to talk about it.
The bloodbath.
$100,000 bloodbath.
$100,000 on the line, 3 days of pool, 120 racks.
Gorst.
SVB, one of the goats against Gorst, number one ranked dude. Crazy match. Were you able to catch it? What'd you think about this?
I love these matches,
Yeah.
the 3-day events.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the first one. This was a throwdown. This was diabolical. Like it was a runaway victory by Gorst on this one.
Insane. They played for 29 hours, dude. 21 hours plus. 29 hours.
What is this,
plus.
the Hustler?
Insane time. The whole thing is, I think the framing of this, not that he is, but the framing of this was kind of like good guy versus bad guy in the sense of like, SVB is like not in social media, he's not in anything, and you got Gorst. He was like, he did merch. He was like posting videos. He was doing all this kind of stuff, promoting it. But then after, the crazy thing, we'll get into the results. We'll see everything. But he was talking shit.
This was real villain material.
Dude, it was crazy. And some trolling.
Some little brother shit.
We'll talk about this later on, but I want to give you some facts. So, again, final results. Gorst 120 to 78 from Shane Van Boening. The match was 29 hours, 20 minutes. And just a quick reminder for everybody, this match took place last year during August 2024.
Same thing.
SVB won, but he only took it for 10 matches. So there was only a 10-match difference.
A lot closer.
So Gorst, he was competing until the end, 116 to 120, 14 games really. But it was much closer. This year, it wasn't very close.
Why do you think that was? SVB's our boy.
One of my questions to you, and I think we should deep dive this after reading a couple of the facts, but my question would be, is this because Gorst is still in stride? Let's keep in mind right now he's still pushing one of the records, not records, but he's trying to continue to be the number one player for the most days straight. I think right now it's FSR.
Yep, FSR had it for 2 years, right?
And Gorst is going to push this, right? So he still, last year he had the most earnings. He's still number one. Right now he's going to come into the Saudi World Championships. So is it because he's in this stride, like he's picking and choosing his events in order to be dominant, and he's in this number one spot? Or is it because SVB is losing a step?
I'm going to do a little cop-out here and say it's probably a little bit of both. It's probably a little bit of both because SVB has admitted that he's getting older.
Yeah.
Gorst definitely had some beef after the 2024 version of this.
Yeah.
The young guns are taking over right now. While I felt like SVB has been playing a lot, he's in stride. Gorst is aiming to be the greatest. He's aiming to be the GOAT. He may be a little brother about it right now.
I mean, the thing is, like, all these guys, and I just brought up FSR, and FSR, for those 2 years, everybody was saying he was going to be a GOAT. He has dropped, so we don't, I want to see Gorst, see if he can push this through 2, 3, 4 years, How many world championships is he going to get? Is he going to continue to keep that number one spot? Is he going to go to Mosconi and give the USA a win? Because let's keep in mind, biggest tournament in pool, USA has lost a bunch of years in a row.
5 years in a row.
So all these things come into play. Now, to be honest, SVB, he's proven everything in the sport. It's done. Like he doesn't have anything to prove to anybody.
He's led some victories in the Mosconi Cup, so he actually doesn't have anything to prove anymore.
He has over 100 pro titles in pool, so he doesn't really have anything to prove. The other day, actually, WNT posted this very cool picture that had Efren, Strickland, and SVB in Mount Rushmore. So it was like the three guys, and I agree with that. Currently, I agree with that. I think SVB is one of the GOATs.
He deserves it.
So, I mean, he loses to Gorst, not to take anything away from Gorst. Gorst 100% deserves this win, and he gave him a blowout, and he's playing as he should if he's the number one player, right? But SVB is like he doesn't have anything to prove, and I think hunger in pool, in life, in every sport is a motivating factor in what you're going to do and how hard you're going to push.
That's everything, I think.
So, I mean, if SVB is already making cash from his sponsors, he's already on the tour, he's in WPA, Ultimate Pool, WNT, his name is out there. Does he really have that hunger? Gorst has that hunger.
Yeah.
So he's proving, and that showed in those clips. We'll put that clip if we're able to, or at least you guys can check it out in his Instagram. But we'll try and put it on. But you guys will see how I don't feel like it's like he's negative about it or even sour, but he's got that oomph of proving a point.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't trolling, he trolled SVB a little bit with the fish shirt, wearing it the day after. But when he was talking about in the X-Pool channel, talking about the game, he was talking shit to the people that were hating against him.
Feeling pumped. I'm allowed to talk.
You do whatever. What do you want to say?
I mean, it's early to celebrate, but everybody was saying, everybody's talking nonstop, and everybody was saying that I can't beat nobody and I can't break the balls. That's the only thing the guy does better than me is break the balls. If I can break better than him, you see what happens. And now everybody will say that it's scripted. Go rewatch the match, you fans.
I think we have to give some context to the people that aren't as diehard as we are. Shane Van Boening, SVB, is a diehard fisherman as well as a pool legend. He goes on long stints in the wilderness of North Dakota.
Yeah, the Dakota kid.
If you look at his Instagram, it's filled with trout and bass.
He has almost no content of pool on his profile.
So for Gorst to come into a $100,000 tournament
against one of the GOATs,
against one of the greatest of all time, and wear a fishing shirt
the day after he wins, it's trolling.
What he posted on Instagram.
It's trolling. That's sometimes we do meme of the week, right? But I love Gorst. I think Gorst, you're such a great player. I love you, dude. If you ever watch this, you're a great dude. But I mean, that picture we put it on our Instagram with the win to update everybody. But it's such a funny picture, man. I don't know if it's geeky or cool, but I like it.
It's on that line.
It's on that line. I like it with the fishing. And it's just I don't know if he prepared the whole fishing line and everything from day one, or he pulled it out at the end of day two. But he had it ready, regardless.
This.
He had it ready. So going into day by day, we'll do a little breakdown.
Break it down for me, Joe.
Let you guys know. Before I tell you this, I'm going to read the 3 days. When I read the 3 days, in my mind, maybe you won't agree, maybe you guys won't agree, but in my mind, it's not a blowout. Day by day. The problem is the compound of the total score is a blowout. But I'll read some stats. Okay, so Gorst, day 1, 40 games, 226 of SVB. Mm-hmm. Day 2, same story, 40 to 26. Day 3, 40 to 26. It repeated itself over and over again. And yeah, there's a 14 frame difference per day, which is a difference, especially comparing that 2024. There was only a total of 10 frames, or 14 frames really, in the whole result. In this game, it was 14 per day. Now, when you put that together, as we said before, the total is 78 of SVB to the 120 of Gorst. It's a big differential.
I call that a bloodbath. I think it ultimately came down to breaking well, because this was a winner break event. You can run and run and run if you're breaking well. And SVB is one of the best breakers in pool. Mm-hmm. Like, he has one of the best breaks, and he was not performing at all with his break. He sat in that chair for hours.
Yeah. So I'm going to read you, again, a couple of stats. I want to get your we're going to go player by player. I want to get your thoughts on all of this. So we're going to go first with Shane, okay? So Shane broke 78 times. As Brian was saying, Shane is supposed to be the better breaker. So here it's like, is Gorst getting better in his break? Because he knew, if you watch any preview, X-Pool, again, you go to Instagram and check X-Pool's preview of this, and Shane said this. He's supposed to be the better breaker. Gorst said this. He's supposed to be the better breaker. So how is Gorst improving in this? Shane, again, we go back to the same question. You guys will leave us in the comments. What do you think? Is Gorst improving? Is Shane losing a step? I'll tell you the stats. SVB broke 78 times with 56 successful breaks. That's a 71 success rate. He had 8 fouls and 14 dry breaks, which for him, in my point of view, before you tell me yours, is losing a step. In a format like this, having 14 dry breaks when you're one of the greatest breakers of all time, it's not good. With $100,000 on the line, rough. Basically that. And Shane had 21 runouts on the frames. So, thoughts?
Is he losing a step? Having watched a lot of Ultimate Pool USA lately, I don't think so. The guy's breaking well in the tournaments. He was off in this event. That's my opinion.
Consider this. Tables on Ultimate Pool, size?
Oh, the bar box.
Smaller.
Yeah, that's true.
Balls, number of balls.
And it's not 9-ball.
It's 8-ball. The number of balls, you're playing with 15 balls. Or 9-ball, you're playing with 9 balls. 9-footers versus 7-footers.
That's fair.
So, again, I think this
Maybe
year
he is losing a step.
I think this year is going to be a big year. And again, I'm not saying he's losing a step. I'm saying from the stats, at least with the breaks, we can just assume something like, maybe it wasn't his day. This can happen to anybody. We'll see the rest of this year because we have some big events coming up. We have, for me, Saudi. We will talk about this. We will deep dive. You guys have to subscribe, like, share, all this stuff so you can get more content from us. But we're going to deep dive into the Saudi, which will be
the World Pool
Championship, which will be a great event and a very telling event for all these players. We will get into the U.S. Open, which will be a great event, or should be a great event for Shane. Mm-hmm. You know who's coming back, by the way? We'll talk about this in the future, but Earl's going back.
He always makes a dramatic comeback.
So we'll see about this, and then at the end we'll see if he makes the Mosconi, which for USA, I'm sure he would. If he would be in Europe with the current roster, I don't know if SVB would make the cut for a European team if he was in Europe. For the USA, for sure.
Bold words.
Yeah. It's a bold word. I love SVB, but it's just so stacked right now in Europe. So by the end of the year, I think we will have a more definite answer of has he lost a step or not, right?
I think you're right. I think we need to see how he performs in 9-ball.
Yeah.
We have to, because he's been playing all this Ultimate Pool USA stuff.
And smaller.
It's 8-ball. It's bar box.
Yeah.
It's a different format. We have to see him play some World 9-ball tour at this point.
It's going to be very telling until the end of the year. So when we do, because we will do this, we will do a yearly wrap-up about the year in pool, and we'll answer this question that we're referencing today.
All right.
So-
we have to know, do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us?
Yeah.
Let us know below. Is Shane losing a step?
Yep. As I said before, let us know, subscribe. And then getting into Gorst, again, here's just like the difference, right? 120 breaks with 101 successful breaks, 6 fouls, 19 dry breaks. Now, Shane had 14, but he had 19 dry breaks. Great difference here, 47 runouts. Now that's dominance, and I think that makes the difference on the collective
47
deficit.
to 21.
Yeah, that makes the difference on the deficit because it's at least half or a little bit over half of the deficit in the final score. And if you're just running, and Shane is sitting down on the table, on his chair, it's like
You're
Makes
getting
sense.
your masterclass, Joe.
yeah. And my point exactly. I'm coming back to this again. Anybody that's on my team, comment Joe's team. Break, winners break, alternate break. This is what you see. The whole reason why you're saying it was a bloodbath and you're enjoying this is because winners break.
It doesn't allow for it. Otherwise, you're right. I'm sorry, but I have to admit, at the end of the day, it makes for a lot more entertaining pool.
I think so.
And that's what we need at this point.
It's not a question for me about fairness. If we go into fairness, alternate break is more fair.
Mm-hmm.
But if we go into, as I said before, the masterclass, the exhibition, the bloodbath, the blowout, winner's break will give you that chance, 100%.
The masterclass,
You know?
the magic.
And I had a question for you just to finish this up. Do you think WNT streaming, that is probably the best streaming, we'll talk about this, should get into money matches between their roster? Having a
Yes.
prize fund for one match.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
It
Las
would be-
Vegas style. Let's
It
go.
will be fun. WNT, guys. Free tip. You don't have to pay us for this, but do it. 'cause
I
it'd
mean,
be
you
awesome.
could produce that so much better than the way they produce that.
Yes. Imagine just like ranking events, but like for matches, like, and then do like a contender series. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like you do a top 5 money event each night, and then you have contenders, and you put it in one final game.
Man, they should.
That would be very
they should
fun.
hire us as consultants.
I mean, I'm just giving free tips over here, but
All right, that about wraps up Gorst versus SVB, our match of the week.
yes.
All right, if you're enjoying the show so far, I just want to give you a kind reminder. Help out the channel, subscribe,
Click that subscribe.
share it with your buddies, give us some love.
Yes, please.
Next up, we have our standard
Racket
Racket Report.
report. Bam, 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 bam. All right, guys. So this week we're going to talk about a couple of results in an upcoming tournament that has been announced. And the first thing is the Predator Tour. This is the first time we're going to get into the Predator Tour. It was the Austrian Open Predator Tour. Couple of players we know. Were you able to check this out?
Yep.
Yeah. What do you think of the promotion of this event? Because like we've been talking about WNT, I think we have an opinion on this. WPA. Now we're going to get into Ultimate Pool. This is the first time we're going to get into Predator. What do you think of the Predator series?
Predator Euro Tour series
Yeah.
is a World Pool Association sanctioned event.
Yeah.
Everybody sponsored by Predator has to play these events, clearly.
Part of the deal.
Part of the deal. They have a big emphasis on fairness. Just to go back to your point of winter break doesn't exist in the Predator Euro Tour.
No.
At all.
No.
There's a lot of 10 ball, which is 9 ball but fair. 9 ball with rules.
9 ball with rules and no luck. Or
Exactly.
little luck.
And if I'm giving just my honest opinion on the tour, I love seeing skilled players no matter what. I watch it. It's on YouTube. But is it entertaining?
I think that, again, and I keep on coming back to WNT because when something is done properly, it's a standard and it's what I go to. And I think this happens a lot with people. Like, if for example, Netflix, they're promoting their series, their movies, their platform is easy. What do? You You watch it on Netflix. What WNT is doing is they're feeding you the content in a proper way, and when you compare it to other tours like Predator, very formal, very European,
Yeah.
very European, but not promoted enough. Not promoted enough, not digestible enough.
That's it right there. I say they promote it just fine for what it is, especially in Europe. I'm watching these semifinals and finals, and there's no energy. Like, you can hear a pin drop. There's 60 people in the room, and they are not allowed to cheer. You wouldn't even know they are there.
Yeah.
And like, I'm a fairness guy. I'm an alternate break guy. Like, I want the rules. And I know some of this is production and some of this has to be the format. That being said, we have to report on the Austrian Open now.
Yeah.
We have to get back on track and let you know. Last year we had, Joshua Filler and Jasmine Ocean taking the men's and women's event. Standard, awesome, top tier category players. Obviously, German and Austrian taking the Austrian Open makes sense.
There was 66 players, German players, from all the pools stacked of German
Absolutely
players.
Stacked.
Yeah.
But we had some interesting results this year.
Yeah. So we got Fortunski taking the tour. He was what they're calling the King of the Alps.
He's a Polish guy.
Yes, he's a Polish guy, and he took his third World Predator Tour, well, European Tour actually, and he played his friend and countryman in the final.
It was
which
all
I'm not
Polish
even,
final.
I'm not even going to try and say his last name. Brian will try and
You can try to say it.
I will try.
Shevchik.
Shevchik. Hey, that wasn't that bad. So we got Fortunski took it 11-7, claimed the title. He had a run for reaching the final, obviously, and we saw a couple of our favorites drop.
That was my question to you because we were talking our player of the week last week, Joshua Filler.
Yeah.
How far did he make it, Joe?
So one of the other favorites that is not so popular in other tournaments is Turku, and Turku eliminated Joshua. He took the game 11-5, which is kind of a blowout, if you ask me.
Joshua made it to the final 32 and got knocked out.
Yes. So imagine being the favorite and he didn't even reach the final stages. Again, is it because it's 10 ball? Is it because he just came off a couple of tournaments? Let's keep in mind he went to Buffalo Classic 2 weeks ago. He went then after to the Bucharest Open, and now he's here. I mean, competition, keeping a stride in playing is very important, but getting burned out is also real.
This is a Predator event.
Yeah.
He's the top sponsored Predator player.
He's the number one ranked dude.
Number one ranked on the World Pool Association.
Yeah.
And this is your home turf. For me, this is an upset.
Oh, 100%.
You took it last year.
100%.
I mean, all the factors say you need to dominate in this tournament.
100%.
That being said, on the men's side,
sorry to interrupt, but wouldn't you say though, if it seems to me it wasn't important enough for him?
again, are we entering into a villain era?
No, I mean, I won't get into it this episode, but like I was shed some light from Brian over here about some filler stuff that I was like, just changed my perspective. We'll get into this another time. Still love the
Another
dude.
day.
Another day, another time. But I will just say this. If you're playing in your home turf, Predator is so important for you. You wouldn't play a week before the Bucharest Open, I think. Travel, everything that's going on. You just came from
He took his 40 grand at
from the Buffalo Classic, and he got jet lag because he arrived 2-3 days before Bucharest, played Bucharest, probably was destroyed, then went to Austria to play this tournament. I mean, if it was so important for you, you wouldn't push it so hard. So in my mind, is it because it wasn't important? Is it because it was sponsored and a sponsor obligation? Because at the end of the day, if you kicked out at the 32 mark, top 32, you're not a top 32 player.
This is coming from the guy that said, "I am the
new
new goat.
king."
I am the new king of pool."
You know, I respect Shane as a player, and everybody said he's the king, but I had to show everybody that I'm the king now. Okay?
I'll put the clip in there. He's the best there ever was, the best there ever will be. He has that ego, and
He's no question one of the best pool players today.
agreed.
No question.
Agreed. That being said, your wife showed up and showed out on the women's side.
Very good
Pia
transition.
Filler
Very good
was
transition.
also competing the week before.
Yeah.
In the
Yes.
U.S.
In the US,
In the
very
Soaring
true.
Eagle, where she made it to the final.
In the Soaring Eagle, she made it to the final. She didn't take it. But if I remember correctly, it was a hill battle. It was a very close.
fantastic match. And she, also a Predator-sponsored player,
Yeah.
stepped it up
Yeah.
and finished it.
Yeah, she did. She did.
Finished it.
She did, and she took it. Again, she beat Kaplan. Again, Kaplan is also a German player. This was like the battle of the fellow countrymen. Match was Hill 8-8, and Pia took it 9-8. So incredible feat for her. I think she's taken. This was her third Euro Tour win. As Brian said, take into consideration. We talk about the wins. We're sitting in this studio. We're talking about this. But these players are flying all over the world. They're dealing with jet lag. They're dealing with focus. They're dealing with everything, diet, everything. And Pia's showing up, dude.
Well, she's actually shown up for the last 5 tournaments.
No.
And, like, she's claimed 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But being a finalist over and over and over again, very proud of her. I mean, it speaks to the format again of what you're talking about. Is this entertaining? Are we watching it? I'm watching this final with Pia Phil. I'm watching her battle back after Kaplan gets on the hill.
Yeah.
And battling back to hill, and then she misses on the pro side.
No.
The final ball, and you could see the drain in her face. She wasn't enjoying the victory. This is a hungry player, that's disappointed even in victory.
I mean, actually, in the post-interview, she said it. They interviewed her, and she said, I feel undeserving of this win. She still 100% deserved it. Fast and Furious quote, it doesn't matter if you win by a centimeter, by a meter, by a kilometer.
Winning is
Winning is winning. So she won. At least in my mind, I think she was very deserving, and a win's a win, and I think there's only, like, congratulations for her, man.
Congratulations to Pia Filler.
Yeah.
You're coming out on top right now.
Yeah, very good. I think we have to keep an eye on the whole Predator tour. We'll fill you guys in, and hopefully it gets more interesting, huh?
Yep.
So this week, man, I also wanted to talk about the whole Ultimate Pool. We got an event this weekend, just happened. There's part of the event still taking place. We're going to talk about Ultimate Pool.
Ultimate Pool USA.
So you've been watching this way more than I have, and you're following this, and it's an event that, not an event, but a series of events that is growing on me. You know, I'm getting more into it. I like the whole bar box thing, 8-ball. It's cool. It's very engaging, the way they're playing with it. And you're going to tell us more about this because you actually watched it. I have a couple of points I wanted to talk to you about this event, but just wanted to remind everybody that there are changes from what we've been talking about with WNT and Predator and all this stuff. This is an event that features 8-ball, small tables. It's 50-minute events. There's a 30-second shot clock, and when it's less than 10 minutes remaining, it drops to 15 seconds. They have a shootout format when the games are tied, and they do a shootout of 6 red balls, which is freaking awesome. I really like this. They play with a golden break, golden duck. There's no jump shots. We won't see any epic react clips from Ultimate Pool with jump shots. Prize money normally is a little bit lower than WNT and other events, and they have some great players on the whole tour like Melling, Berman, SVB, Woodward, a couple of guys in this. And this week we got the Boston Shootout.
Boston Shootout.
My boy Brian's going to tell us more about it. So let us know, dude.
Well, to give some context, Ultimate Pool USA has really blossomed over the last year.
Yeah.
They've been around since 2023, and they're a branch of Ultimate Pool in the UK.
Yeah.
But they've really blossomed in the last year in the USA.
Yeah.
That being said, we had the Boston Shootout this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and it's wrapped at this point. They still have a couple more events after this at the same venue, same players. But the most notable players, I think, at this event were going to be Justin Bergman, who is a local legend,
Mm-hmm.
bouncing in and out of the 800 Fargo rating, and SVB.
He's
Shane
a
Van
killer,
Boening.
man. Berman is a great player to watch. You guys like pool? He's like this local legend, but playing all over the tour of Ultimate Pool, and he's very, very good.
Oh, he's fantastic. He's just interesting because he's somebody that's able to. He's a pool player that's able to break $100,000 a year in earnings, without traveling as much as the other international players. So you will not see Bergman playing in the World 9-Ball Tour.
Do you think that's by choice?
Yes, it's
Okay.
absolutely by choice. The guy doesn't like traveling. The guy wants to play locally. He locally being all over the USA.
All over the US, yeah.
So Ultimate Pool USA is a great format for him.
Yeah.
It's also a great format for general because it's an open. Generally for players that can't commit, the semi-professionals to come in and make a name for themselves. Those bar players that have skills.
Yeah.
The notable players of the Boston Shootout were going to be Shane Van Boening and Justin Bergman, both of which made it to the semifinals. Bergman edged out SVB by one rack. The format dictated that. I mean, it came down to
It's a short run, right? It's
No,
a short
man.
race. They're only going to 6.
It's a short race, and the timing of it,
Yeah.
that shot clock, it keeps it
They're
flowing.
they're combining the shot clock, the short format of time limit, and the race. It's only a race to 6.
Yep.
I believe this was quarterfinals.
Yep, and it's a race to 6, but it has to be completed within the time format, and that really depends on what stage they're at in the competition.
No.
But generally, it's like 30 minutes. They have to finish 6 racks, and if you haven't obviously they shorten the shot
Yeah.
clock when it gets down to the final 10 minutes. It goes from 30 seconds to 15 seconds, which makes it way more intense. But you can win without getting to 6.
Yeah. When we finish
The
this
time
review,
runs out. Whoever has the most games wins.
I have some questions about this that I think are interesting to pose for this whole thing. But tell us what was the final? Who took it? What happened?
Well, it came down to was it Craig?
Which he's a UK player, not very known, but it was Waddingham who took it.
Craig Waddingham came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He's been playing a lot of Ultimate Pool USA events and getting to the finals, winning some.
Yeah.
Kind of an unknown, doesn't even have a Fargo rating.
Yeah.
Against Justin Bergman.
Yeah. And he
Who
took
is again bouncing in and out of the 800 Fargo rating, and he took it.
Yeah.
In my opinion, part of that's the format, the inclusive format.
Yeah.
But also, hell yeah, watching these lower semi-professional players being able to step it up against the pros. That's awesome to me.
And it's such a crazy thing. Like this guy, I mean, we know that Craig has been playing a lot of UK Ultimate Pool. I think he has won 2 events around 21 and 23, 2021, 2023. And he comes in and beats one of the legends, like local legends, Bergman, one of the favorites, who qualified directly to the quarterfinals, 6-1. It's
The
a blowout.
break and run format,
It's a
bro.
blowout. It's no small feat. So very interesting. But congrats to him. But moreover, I wanted to pose some questions now that we're dipping our toes into this whole Ultimate Pool. Is like, I have a personal opinion on this that it's
Share.
like,
What are your thoughts?
my thoughts are like Ultimate Pool is very interesting. Like I really like it. I think it's so engaging, but I don't feel it doesn't have the feel of a pro sport, but it does have a feel of a great show, a
I
great
agree.
spectacle.
Pro versus show.
Pro versus show. So maybe I'm wrong. Like I would love people to tell us. And hey, if Ultimate Pool, can give us a response on this. Is like why they're formatting the whole tournaments in a way where it's so quick that it's obvious they want people to engage on this.
Yep.
And they want to catch your attention. They don't want you to be like on a 10 ball. If we go to a Predator 10 ball final, it's not going to be like the final of the Boston Shootout.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Nope.
And that's for a reason. They're doing this with a purpose of engagement, of attention. They're mixing in men's. One thing I love they're doing is they're really promoting their juniors events.
Yep.
Same time as they're doing these events. Promoting all their names, doing everything.
And the random mixed doubles
The mixed
with the
doubles
pros. You
is
can have a
awesome.
junior playing with a legend
That is
out
very
of
cool.
nowhere because it's randomly assigned. And
That
that's
is very
exciting
cool.
for me. Would I normally watch mixed doubles? No, I would never
No,
watch. It's
nor
boring
would
to
I.
me. They made it interesting. And just to give you my thoughts and to respond, I think the show is important. I appreciate a professional sport. I appreciate equality. I'm the alternate break guy.
Mm-hmm.
But the show is also important. Building the sport's important. It's the same thing the World 9-Ball Tour is doing right now with Matchroom. They're making it more accessible in general. Is it the most professional thing to watch? No. To speak to the prize money, yes, I think this one had, what, $27,000 prize?
Yes,
or
it was $27K
prize fund.
prize fund, and the winner would take $8K. So, I mean, this is a prime event for them for Ultimate Pool USA. They did the Iowa Shootout. Now they're doing the Boston Shootout, which
They did
both
the
are
Arkansas
prime
Pro.
events. And in a prime event, the winner is taking less than in a ranking WNT event.
Or a WPA event.
Or
Exactly.
WPA, so
I think they are ending their season, though, in Cherokee, North Carolina, at the Harrah's Casino, where the prize fund is $100,000.
Okay, so that's very good. That's good, but that's the granddaddy
They're
of all the
building up
prices.
to it.
So we're seeing that, for example, in less than a month, we've got the Saudi for the 9-ball tour that is $1 million.
The crown jewel.
So again, show or sport. Another thing, when we look at a guy like SVB playing this, which if I'm not mistaken, the only guys that are playing both tours are from the men's side are that at least that I can recall right now is SVB and Woodward.
And Melling is bouncing.
Melling, yeah, he's still bouncing on and off. But let's say even those guys, like, are they using Ultimate Pool or viewing Ultimate Pool as a compliment to their pro career, as like the show
Or
aspect?
is this part of their pro career?
Or is this part of the
And
pro
I would
career?
have to give it to you. It's like this has trouble standing up as a professional sport. It doesn't feel like amateur hour, but it doesn't feel professional.
No.
It
And
is highly entertaining, though.
highly, like the way that one thing that I will give them, and it's like I would hope that everybody, because I can honestly say the only people in Q Sports, and we'll get into this, that are doing a proper job in this are WNT and Ultimate Pool. The rest, they're not up to par.
It's hard to watch. Like, I spent this past week watching the Predator Euro Tour and watching Ultimate Pool USA. And I can tell you which one was harder to watch.
And
I
we'll get-
cared more about the results in the Predator Euro Tour, the Austrian Open. I
Yeah.
cared about Joshua Filler getting knocked out in the final
100%.
32. I cared about
Yeah.
Pia Filler winning. I cared about all Polish final on the men's, all German final on the women's. Man, I was entertained by Ultimate Pool, though. Like, I almost saw myself playing.
Right.
I put myself, and their production value is better.
Yes.
Their commentators are better. Their energy and vibe is better.
Yes. And, I'm going to use this because we're going to put it a little bit further on, but I'm going to use this segue to say, like, the current state of pool right now, we've got a couple of organizations that are doing this. WPA, WNT, Ultimate Pool, Predator. Then we got a bunch of Asian events that are going on. And then we got the money matches. Derby Classic, Buffalo Classic. We just had the last weekend, SVB Gorst, all this
The
happening.
high ticket competitions.
Is the current state of pool, when we talk about streaming, accessibility to information, to scores, to the characters, to who these players are, to the ease of watching these sports, is it in a positive place or is it in a negative place comparing to other sports? That is, I go to one website, I get everything. I go to one streaming service who has the rights, and I watch everything. What do you think? Is this good, bad?
I think it's a mixed bag, man. It
Yeah.
really is. It's so segmented right now. And obviously, none of them are going to come together and work together. I mean, even if they're parlaying right now between the big organizations, it's still a situation where, like, you have this old garden pool and the new guard, which I would consider Matchroom, the World 9-Ball Tour,
Yeah.
coming in, making it entertaining again, committing to the format. But there's a price tag on this. It's
Yes.
not free. Yeah, I can't watch it on YouTube for free like I watch Ultimate Pool USA.
So I'm going to compare this and give you two examples of the real world where this has already happened, and one product is thriving where the other one is struggling. So anybody watching who's into fighting sports will know that boxing is a sport where there's a bunch of organizations that do their own promotions, their own streaming, and everything is everywhere.
Yep.
So they get a lot of money from one pay-per-view, but the audience is not completely informed of every fighter, is not watching every fight, because there's so much out there and there's so much options, but also there's a need to spend so much in order to be up to date with all the sport. We go to the UFC, which is MMA, and it's one place where you have the best fighters, you pay one fee, you have pay-per-views, but you pay one fee and you get everything, all the content at once.
They're the Matchroom of that world.
Exactly. So, I mean, like we have right now, Matchroom, which would be something like the UFC, which they're giving us an incredible content for pool in Instagram, TikTok, all their website, everything. That I'm subscribed to their emails. I get emails every other week telling me what events are coming up, any new announcements, everything. So I'm very well informed. I want to watch them. Despite of their price, you would get into their subscription service, and you've got all their tournaments that they're doing, except what happened with the Bucharest Open. But the normal thing is that they're putting all their events so you can watch them, or they're guiding you where to watch them. They even have a website with
In
the
a
live
perfect
scores.
world, yes.
Yes. And they even have a website with the live scores of all their official events. Now, WPA, Ultimate Pool, the classics, all this stuff is a mess. We've got Billiard TV on YouTube. You've got other YouTube channels that get some rights, and you have to search for them, or they give you the streams for these matches. You've got Billiard Action TV for money matches. You've got X-Pool for other money matches, like we got with Gorst. You've got a plethora of things.
The WPBA for the women's league,
Yes.
which is a World Pool Association sanctioned series.
Correct.
They live stream for free on YouTube.
Yes.
But like as a consumer, as somebody that's addicted to pool and seeking out, where do I go?
Yes.
What do I pay for? What's free? It's so freaking segmented, man.
It's crazy. And it's not, in my opinion, my short answer for this would be it's horrible for the sport. Even scores, guys, like even the scores Some scores are in Q Score, other scores are in Digital Pool, other scores are in their official page.
You and me are checking Fargo ratings.
We're checking Fargo ratings, so it's like, and I think I've said this before. For us, we're diehards. We're doing research for you guys for this channel. It takes us some time to find news, to find scores, to get all the information. We're doing it because the Q sports in general, I would say, except for snooker, is not well promoted in a general sense. One company can do it better than others, but in a general sense, it's not well promoted. We were talking about Predator earlier in the podcast. Most of these characters are unknown, even if they have a great resume with championships, with many matches for years. So, in my mind, the current state of streaming and news and everything is in a horrible place for pool because it's not organized. I don't know what you think.
Well, I'd be curious what your thoughts are on the solution here. Not that they're going to listen to us, but I would say, like, you have all these different players in the space. Some are obviously killing it. Some are obviously not, but it's created this segmentation, and it's terrible for the consumer. Mm-hmm. I agree with you. They're not getting along, and they're not going to get along.
To be honest, like, I think the solution, we've seen it. It's not that difficult. Like, here's the thing. We just had a whole drama with, like, WPA and WNT, right?
World Pool Association and the World 9-Ball Tour.
What was the
big players?
What was the situation before Matchroom came in, the whole scene with 9-Ball? 9-Ball was in the same place. It was, like, all over the place. You had, like, different places to watch. It was not put together. Matchroom came, got the rights, organized their tour, put everything in a place. WPA, who at the end of the day we've seen with everything that happened now with the agreement and the last year, they've got the rights, and like it or not, they're the big guns of the sport. They are the governing body.
Yep.
So these guys, they have the right to choose the correct people or company who's going to have the rights for these events instead of shooting it everywhere. So we're going to get 9-Ball. WNT's Matchroom is doing a great job. Who's going to do 8-Ball? Who's going to do 10-Ball?
God, that's the best point you made, because now, I mean, if you ask me for where am I going to watch 8-Ball?
Where are you going to watch 8-Ball, dude? Where are you going to watch 10-Ball?
Ultimate Pool USA. That's
Where
it.
are you going to watch 10-Ball? Okay, if Predator has an event, but then maybe the WPA in the US has another event. So the right distribution, I mean, this might be technical for some of you, but at the end of the day, for us as viewers, this will be a game changer. If the distribution rights are sold in a proper way, given there has to be a demand for this, okay? There has to be a proper company that is down to do this, but I think there would be. If they sell the rights properly and organize this in a proper way, it would be so digestible. Imagine that Predator did a better job promoting all their events, but they only did 10-Ball, and they were just in charge of 10-Ball, but they would make it more digestible. It would be great. That would be the place for 10-Ball, and they would do it in a proper way, and that would be the Predator 10-Ball
Why
tour.
you got to make so much sense right now?
I mean, I really don't think it's that difficult. And then you can have, like, that's fine because that's off like the pro sport. You can have X-Pool, Billiard Action TV doing the whole money games. That's fine, whatever. But the pro aspect of it should be organized in a better way, and that's on the WPA. And that's a shout out to the WPA.
If you're listening, we have thoughts. Feel free to reach out.
Reach out. Again, guys, give us your comment.
We are your consumer.
Do you think we are right? Do you think we are wrong? Do you have a better solution? Do you have feedback? Let us know in the comments. And please don't forget, give us love. Give us a subscribe. Give us a like. Share. We need this, guys.
Help out the channel.
Yes. And I think last thing on this week's pod, we wanted to talk about a new announcement of a new Open.
Talking about the Philippines Open.
The Philippines Open. So WNT again, dropping us another event, dropping it like it's hot. Gave us the Florida Open. It's going to start, I think it's in October. New event. And now they just dropped the Philippines Open. They are kind of matching the dates with the Reyes Cup that they're trying to push. You know, it's like the new Mosconi Cup, which I love.
I think that's good, though. I think
great.
that's going to kindle the fire
Yes.
for the Reyes Cup, and they
Yes.
needed that for the Reyes Cup.
Yes, and I think that it's a great thing they're doing, and it's so not fair, but so necessary for a country like Philippines that pool is basically a national sport.
Yep.
Like you can just like Google people playing a pool in Philippines. Anybody is like one of the greatest players. Manny Pacquiao, one of the greatest boxers of all time, is a fantastic pool player.
He'd try to beat the bartender
Yes.
at any bar
Any
in the
bar. So,
Philippines.
and he would probably kick your butt. So, so again, this is great for the Philippines. But one thing that is awesome that I really like is we'll put the clip
Yep.
on top of this, but the place where they're doing it, I want to get your thoughts. It's such a cool venue,
The multi-level venue.
It's a multi-level mall with, I think it's like a whole LED screen on top, where probably they're gonna have, all this ambience with replays, colors, and all this stuff, and then having the crowd in this multi-level venue with the pool tables and the matches happening in the bottom. I
It's
think
a badass
awesome.
concept. I love it.
And that is the freaking awesome thing. Again, I am not kissing anybody's butt, but when I see something that is done well, you have to praise it. You have to give props.
I'm very much looking forward to it. Like, this is going to be one of the events of the year. They had the first Reyes Cup last year, basically the Mosconi Cup of Southeast Asia, and now they have some kindling to that fire. They're going to have the Philippines Open.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Very exciting. So you're going to have the Reyes Cup, October 16 to the 19, and then you're going to have the Philippines Open, October 21 to the 26. It's going to be a stacked couple of weeks down at the Philippines. So it's awesome. And again, giving props to this, I think Emily Fraser is doing a fantastic job with this. It's again, this for whatever reason I'm referencing a lot of boxing in this, but who's like the president of Matchroom is Eddie Hearn, who same thing that happened in boxing. There's like all these crazy organizations everywhere, and this dude from Matchroom, Eddie, he went in, organized it at least for Matchroom, and has really like developed the sport and changed. And Emily is doing the same thing for WNT, and I believe she's been in the company for a long time. And these type of events, Florida Open, putting together the whole Saudi thing, doing this for the Reyes Cup that is going to be like pretty much the new Mosconi Cup, and this whole thing with the Philippines just shows how much new blood and innovation is coming into the sport, and I am all in. I think
They're
it's
setting a
freaking
new standard.
It's freaking awesome, dude.
I agree. I think there are some important ideas and concepts that they're honoring.
Yeah.
I mean, they know this is a gambling money sport.
Yeah.
And they don't want to scare away the money. They need to have
No.
big prizes, and they need to be inclusive for the current pool community. But to set those standards, hey, you're not coming in jeans.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, that's something I value. I mean, we're talking about all the things that could be improved in the state of the viewing, the streaming, the information of Q Sports and pool. But it's also important to understand the actual state of where pool is at. And I saw an interview with, I think it was 60 Minutes as well, with Emily Fraser, where they were asking her, what's your opinion about the gambling side of it with pros? And she said she's not against it and there's nothing wrong with it. And with the current state of pool, she's actually right. I mean, you can't take, it's not exactly gambling, but you can't tell, for example, what happened last weekend. Gorst and SVB that are part of the WNT be like, no, you can't do this. Like, that's great for the sport. Look how much interest.
I feel like you're coming around right now.
I'm coming around, dude. I am. But look how much interest was generated last weekend, and how much we were so hyped up, like so much energy around this whole thing. So I don't know, man. I'm really hyped with different things that are happening with the sport. There's things to improve that we've talked about, But in general, it's like I feel hope, and I feel like things are taking a good turn.
Absolutely. Pool was born out of gambling. I don't think that's going anywhere.
No.
That's human nature for you. But they're handling it the right way.
For sure.
In my opinion. Obviously, they're not having a gambling floor like in the past where the tournaments were just a venue for people to come gamble. They compete, but they're there to actually
which
throw
is
down
right.
some stacks. You shouldn't do that. But also, hey, here's the standard. You're going to show up. This is how you're going to dress. We have some fantastic prizes for you.
100.
Here's some tools for you to promote yourself and maybe get sponsored.
Yeah.
They're handling it absolutely the right way. I think we're on the same page. It's good for the sport. And it'll be very curious to see how that evolves as the new generation takes over.
For sure. Like, I'll keep it 100 with you. I think the sport is evolving more today with everything that has happened in the last couple of years, especially because social media is being used and streaming is being used in a better way to reach the masses than in the past, where you depended on broadcasting, and broadcasting a sport was more tough. So evolution, I think the evolution of the sport, the pace that it's growing even more today than probably in the last couple of years or in some time. At least my feel is this. But in any case, great stuff coming up, man. We've got a great calendar coming up. And the rest of the year is going to be good. We're kind of at that mid marker, June, and we have some great events coming up, and we'll be vigilant. I mean,
that wave is building right now, and it's about to crest, and it's about to be a whole lot of pool in the next couple of weeks.
Yes, 100%.
The next couple of months, the rest of the year. This is the
Well, actually, July that's coming up. July is going to be a stacked month. So, I mean, you guys have to keep on the lookout, because next week we're going to have some previews for a new tournament of WNT coming up. We're going to preview some new clips. We're going to give you the news, and we're going to start previewing that Saudi World Championship with the current rankings and everything that's going down.
The big boy money.
The big boy money with a million on the line. That's going to be very interesting.
I'm excited. All right,
so
that about wraps up. If it's your first time, please consider subscribing and helping us out if you enjoyed our show. We have a lot of extra content that we produce every week. One of our most popular segments is the Pool Players React, which you can find on our YouTube channel.
Yes, click the links. I'm sure you have them top, bottom, everywhere. Check this week's Pool Players React. We got some great clips. We've got this whole thing going with Earl Strickland. He's back again. We got Jason Shaw spinning and spinning again. So check our content, subscribe, like, share, give us some love. We do this for you guys. So that's it for me, man.
That's it for the week. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.